From the Crimean War to Alphabet, up sharply in the pre-market after posting a quarterly beat. Results were fueled in part by revenue growth in advertising in the cloud. Company also backing that CapEx guidance, $75 billion for the year, as part of its AI investment strategy. Jim, we got a nice buyback. JPM reiterates overweight. You like it?
Now, I am going to write a piece this weekend for club members about a mea culpa, because at the last minute, I did something that was about as stupid as you can ever do. I read the U.S. government briefs against the monopolist that was Google, and I said, David, I actually feared the government, and I should have been fearing Alphabet's lawyers, because they really just real deals.
Yeah, but you don't want to dismiss the potential risk of
No, I did,
litigation.
because I sold the stock. I should have totally dismissed it.
Well, the real fear has continued to be ChatGPT, what that will represent in terms of people using it for queries that ultimately can be monetized in some way, even though ChatGPT has not gone down that road per se, and what that is taking away from Alphabet. That said, in the call, they indicate their AI overview. What do they have? 1.5 billion users or something along those lines.
Now, are they paying to get them? That's the government would tell you that.
Right, but they are monetizing them as well. They
sure
say
are.
at roughly the same,
not even with
at the same rate.
I cannot believe the lead generation really works. It's the last. It's the end. Like, they use the example, said, okay, what's the best golf ball? All right, so you do that. I don't know. I'm still using Schlesinger from the days of James Bond and Goldfinger. But what's incredible to me is it says it's still the #1 way to get sales. And the tie-in to Gemini is great. Now, this guy, Philip Schindler, who is much cooler, by the way, than Sean Connery, even in his best days. He is. Do you know Schindler?
I know. I don't know.
Oh, God, he does YouTube. And his stuff about, he did the NFL deal. YouTube is just it. I mean, there's like, I want to compare YouTube, say, to compare it to like a cable company.
YouTube is a powerhouse. We've talked about that many times.
It's not a powerhouse, it's the powerhouse.
Moffett-Nathanson saying could be worth $500 billion if it traded publicly, which would be a bit above that of Netflix, the ever-surging Netflix, by the way.
It's 16 times earnings. How many times did he in the Nathanson's be? And all at 16. Well, he was like Crazy Eddie. And it's just, it's positively insane that it's at 16 times earnings.
Trades at a reduced multiple, in part because of some of the fears that we've discussed.
Yeah.
How about the space between Waymo and the whatever #2 you want to pick?
Well, I'm putting my chips on Musk.
You are on Musk.
Yeah, because I don't think Waymo scales the way that people think.
Their trips are up 5x.
Yeah, 250,000 a week.
No, it's
250,000
on real streets.
a week.
Go and read what Musk said about what he's going to do everywhere. I mean, these guys are just in the wrong technology.
I don't know, Jim. I like it. It was interesting because Sundar was asked a question about Waymo, and he actually said, that's the first time I can remember even being asked a question about Waymo on the call. Then he went on to sort of indicate some interesting thoughts about the evolution of the business. Take a listen.
We're also building up a network of partners, for example, for maintaining fleets of vehicles and doing all the operations related to that. With the recently announced partnership with Move in Phoenix and Miami, obviously partnerships with OEMs. There are future optionality around personal ownership as well.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Future optionality around personal ownership as well. I thought that was interesting.
It is. That's different from the model.
It's different from the model. It's much more akin to what Musk is thinking about with Tesla.
Well, let's remember that Musk just says it's too expensive. He doesn't like the actual technology. I never go against Musk when it comes to technology. This call was an amazing call, okay? It was so painful for someone who had sold it because of the government, because they'll just say, listen, we've got all these relationships, and the government wants to contend the relationships are illegal. And it's like, it's the U.S. government versus the U.S. Google. So they're like, one country has got a great balance sheet. It's really powerful. It's got a leader. It completely works. And then there's another country that's completely dysfunctional that has a Congress and a U.S. I want to bet on the United States of Google.
All right. Well, also 100 basis point beat on the margin, at least in terms of what analysts were looking for. That's a lot.
They haven't even started monetizing the NFL yet. I mean, they're so good.
So you wish you hadn't lost your nerve at 145.
Oh, I read that stupid brief about how the one they lost were like, we're a monopolist. I should have just bought on that. I should have said, wow, bet on a monopoly any day of the week. These guys are like, they're like Boardwalk in Park Place, these guys. They're that kind of monopoly. They're not illegal. They're in charge. It's kind of like Alexander Haig. Anybody remember that?
Oh, I hold the football now?
You betcha. That's Google.